This might be a little bit long. It might run close to an hour. So just to give you kind of an expectation, because we've got a lot of stuff to go through. First and foremost, we know that there's a lot of people that have really been curious as to what we're talking about when it comes to a new app. Well, I'm going to let you know something. We're going to tell you what that app is. But as we tell you what the app is, there's something that's really so exciting about this, and what that is this. We're still talking about just the beginning. Understand that as a company, we're still such a new company. We will introduce this app, but we're not done yet. There's going to be other apps coming after that. Now, by the way, why are we interested in other apps? Why are we interested? I'll tell you why we're interested, because we want to give you more of an opportunity to profit even more, make more money from mobile apps. People have done great with what we've had at $9.95. Well, what if you had more to work with? That's why, okay? So, folks, what are we talking about with the new application? Here we go. We want to introduce you to iLA University. iLA University. What is it? Here's what it is. A lot of people have enjoyed iLA, the Inspired Living application. You know what? We've gotten so much positive feedback from people that really appreciate the Inspired Living application and delivering the content that it does. You know, 6, 7, 8 minutes a week, that's good. The value is there at $9.95, but what we're going to do with iLA University is we're going to take it to an amazing level. It's a separate application, and we're going to be talking about, this is going to be rolling out information that is high value information, where I can absolutely guarantee you this, that when you have the app and take in the information, that you will be given nuts and bolts information on things like, get this here, things like internet marketing, how to market on the internet. We're going to be having experts in internet marketing and how to build your business online. You're going to be learning nuts and bolts information on entrepreneurial skills. And let me talk about something here. We're not talking about 6 or 7 minute snippets here. Those are great. We love that. You know what? I love how Lynn talks about it. Lynn in Phoenix, you know, you hear her. You might have heard her tonight on the recruiting call. She talks about how it is. It's nice to have that sweep out the mental cobwebs in your mind. That's a great picture. Well, you know what this is going to do? This will establish you and give you nuts and bolts information. So we're talking about entrepreneurs, people who are experts in starting business, giving you, this is how to do it. Do you want to start a business? This is how you do it. We're talking about more like our segments here. We're not talking about general information. We're talking about specific information, step-by-step information on what to do to market your business online, how it is that you start a business, step-by-step information on things like real estate, okay? Let me explain here. What am I talking about here? I'm not talking about general principles. I want to emphasize that again. We've got people, have you seen some of these seminars promoted on TV where you go to a free seminar? Guess what they do there? They pitch you on a further seminar, and people spend thousands of dollars, literally thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on how to profit from the current real estate market. Well, guess what? There's going to be nuts and bolts information in that app on things like that, real estate. Also, investment strategies. Folks, if people get this application, they will have courses. That's what they are. They're courses on this that will give you information on exactly how to increase your income in these markets. Also, we'll have advanced life mastery courses, education. We're talking about things that you can't get elsewhere. New courses from tier 1 personal development personalities, as well as, get this, unseen information that has not been seen before from Napoleon Hill. Matt and I just got back from the Napoleon Hill Foundation yesterday. We spent a couple of days with Don Green, the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. We had an opportunity to look into, go into storage units that people have not seen, of footage that has not been seen before from Napoleon Hill. Huge stuff. Folks, iLA University is going to be an application that's going to have so much value packed into it that people will want it as a standalone. There will be testimonials, standalone testimonials of people saying, you know what, the education that I've got from iLA University has been huge, and it's impacted my life. And it's measurable in dollars, in dollars, in actual dollars. The value of it will be in the thousands of dollars, and the app, a person can access it for $19.95 a month. Now again, why would we do this? Two things. We're very clear as to what our vision is as a company. We want to make an impact into people's lives. On a personal level, oh yeah, this will do this. On a financial level, absolutely. What have people done with $9.95? Well, how about this? Double it or triple it. Not only will you have the education itself that will be absolutely priceless, but you'll have an opportunity to earn more with it. And this is about you making more money, all right? Now that introduces something else that we're going to go over on this webinar, because folks, we've got something really big. So what we're looking at here is at $19.95, that introduces another opportunity for us. And what that is this. When we started iLA, the question that came to our mind was, what is the best thing that we can do with $9.95? With $9.95, how can we arrange that to make it the most profitable for the people that are sharing the app with other people? And the most sensible thing to us at that time was to use the matrix that we're familiar with. $9.95 is a matrix, a 3x7 matrix. Well, now that we've introduced this other option at $19.95, it makes it possible for a person to get started at two different levels. Okay, we're introducing a second option as to how a person can get started that will include iLA University. But that being the case, you know what? The matrix, there's something better than the matrix, quite frankly. We revisited the compensation model. And when we started to revisit the compensation model, it was actually our legal counsel advised us to hire on board someone who specializes in creating compensation plans. That's their wheelhouse. It's what they do. So we contracted with a consultant to advise us on compensation to see what the best thing we could do at this price point. And boy, are we ever glad that we did. But you know what? When we did that, there's a couple of things that were really important to us, really important. And what that is this. From the beginning, we've always said, we will never change the compensation plan or adjust the compensation plan unless it is in favor of the field and the people building in the field. So we want to be accountable to that. So, so what we've done is move on to this here. We're going to talk about this enhanced compensation plan. It's an enhancement. And again, the reason why we're doing this, we want to tee this up in a way to where you can make more money. It's all about the field doing better, all right? Now, with this compensation plan, one of the things that we're very happy about is this. It's an increased payout. The company is going to be paying out more of a percentage to the field than ever before. Everybody's going to be getting a raise, all right? That's the bottom line. Is if you're in the company, if you're building the business, you're going to be getting a raise. You're going to be making more money. Also, it's well-rounded to create bigger upfront and residual commissions. Your pocketbook is going to be impacted in a positive way because of this enhancement. Another thing, it rewards and encourages the right activity. You know, one of the things that we learned from the Matrix is that if you communicate to people, hey, you know what, if you just get going, you really don't have to do much. Guess what happens? People don't do much. Have you experienced that? A lot of people get started and they won't do much. Well, you know what? That's not very good for anybody. It's not good for them. It's not, you know, it's not good for anybody. What this does is we've put certain things in place to encourage and reward the right activity. Then also, this is something that's very important, it's simple to understand the first steps. Now, over the next probably half hour, we're going to be showing you what this enhancements and compensation plan looks like. And it's important to let you know that there are some intricacies to it, there are some details to it that you might not get the first time because there's a lot of details to it. But the one thing that's very important is that it's really easy and it's simple for a person to understand how to make their first $100. That's the key part, okay? And with that, let me show you what we're talking about here. Okay, first of all, from here on out, starting when we're going to have a pre-launch period here on this. At the beginning of November, we'll have a period of pre-launch, and I'm going to explain how that's going to work at the end of the webinar. But when that time happens, we're going to have two different ways of getting started. First of all, $9.95. Nothing's ever changing there. We like that price point, and we'll never take that away. People will always be able to get started for $9.95. However, what a person will get there is they'll get the basic app, Inspired Living app. They'll have one website, the main iLiving app website. That's going to count for 7 points of sales volume. One of the things that we're going to get used to as a culture and as a company is having points of sales volume. Okay, personal sales volume. And what 7 points means is this. $7 of that $9.95 is commissionable. $7 is commissionable. Legally speaking, we can't pay commissions on websites and sales tools and the back office and things. That's not legal. Those are sales tools. But the app itself, we can pay on the app itself. That's commissionable. That's why there's 7 points of sales volumes. That's commissionable points or commissionable dollars, okay? Now there's a second option that we're going to introduce. It's this option that introduces more revenue into your organizations. It's $49.95. And the value is this. Here's what you get. It's the premium mobile app plus the premium business websites. So what you get is this. Automatically, you get all three applications, mobile applications, all three of them. It's the full suite of apps. You get the Inspired Living application, you get Tax Shield, and you get the iLA University. You get it all for $50. In addition, now you're going to have 4 separate websites. 4 of them, 4 personalized websites. Here's why. First and foremost, you'll have the current website that you have, iLivingApp.com. Then you'll have 3 separate retail websites for the apps that you have, so that if you want to share the app with someone without being distracted with a business opportunity, you can do that. So like the current iLA Tax Shield website, it's like that. But then you'll have a website for the iLA University. And you know what? There will be plenty of people that will want that app just for the content itself. And then, of course, you'll have the Inspired Living application. Now, here's something that's very important. You, at $49.95, you will be automatically bonus qualified. And we're going to explain what that means to you. There are certain bonuses that you're going to be qualified for at $49.95. Quite simply, the most sensible way and the best way for a person to get started from this point forward is going to be at $49.95, because if they're in the business, it's going to be important for them to have the applications so that they experience them, so that they're familiar with it. All right. And in so doing, a person will be automatically bonus qualified. All right, now, that being the case, here's what we're looking at with this new enhanced compensation, there are 6 different ways of earning money, 6 different ways of getting paid. First is fast start bonuses. Oh man, this is going to be great. You're going to love this because it's going to be very simple to tell a person how to make their first $100, $200, $300 very quick. That was hard to do with the $9.95. At $9.95, if you go share the app with 9 people, what would happen? You'd have enough money to have your app paid for. Well, the equivalent to that is it's going to go from having your app paid for to making $300. Is that better for you? You bet. We'd love that. So there's going to be fast start bonuses. We'll share that with you. There's enroller bonuses. Very powerful enroller bonuses. We've still got coded bonuses. We'll share with you how those, but those are going to increase. All right. Also, we've got personal and team sales volume. So you'll get income from your personal sales and your team sales. Also, there's what's referred to as generation overrides, a very powerful aspect of the compensation that we'll share with you. Also, leadership profit sharing pools, very powerful. Now, folks, I need to give you a heads up, okay? In fact, I'll tell you a little story here. When we're revisiting the compensation plan and looking at how to create a compensation plan that will make it most profitable for the field and reward the right activity, if we keep it real simple, the value in it is that it's simple to understand, but you give up certain things like its power to encourage the right activity. But if you get real detailed with it and build it right, it could be a little bit more complex to understand. But the important thing is this. It's how to get started. Every company that does well, it's simple to understand how to get started. Then, as a person's earning, then they can take in the training on the compensation. So I'll give you a heads up. If this is the first time that you've seen this, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't understand everything the first time. The important part, right there. Fast start bonuses and enroller bonuses. When a person gets started and they make a couple $100, then they're like, okay, this is good, I'm making money. Then they can look at some of the training. So if you need to go through this again, that wouldn't surprise me. Don't feel overwhelmed if you don't get this all the first time. A lot of people don't. So that being the case, let's start with fast start bonuses, okay? I'll share with you how this works. Here's how it works. When a new associate enrolls 3 new associates in their first 30 days, they're going to receive a one-time $70 fast start bonus. Now, when they do that, they'll earn other commissions. They'll earn some enroller bonuses also, and they'll get residual commissions from those signups. So the total of everything will be $100. Now, I'll share with you how the enroller bonuses work and how the residuals work, but in a nutshell, to keep it simple, share it with 3 people, make $100. Just that simple. And I should clarify that from this point forward, we're talking about people coming on at $49.95. Now, as you can imagine, if someone comes on at $9.95, we can't pay that out, right? This is if someone comes on at $49.95, and it makes sense for someone to come on at $49.95, which you'll see here in the compensation. Now, a person has to be fully bonus qualified. How does a person become fully bonus qualified? Here's how a person is qualified. $49.95. If you start at $49.95, you're automatically bonus qualified. If you don't, then what you're going to have to do is come in at $9.95 and go out and get a handful of customers. You have to qualify for it by sales. But the easiest way is $49.95, okay? Now, this is very powerful. It can be done multiple times within a new associate's first 30 days. You don't have to stop at 3. If you get 6, that's another $100. If you get 9, that's another $100. So the question is, how many sets of $100 do you want? There will be many people. I mean, we've had people bring in 100 people, in a month, plenty of times. And there will be plenty of people that enroll a lot of people in their first 30 days. And there's going to be wonderful testimonies of great income being built just based on fast start bonuses alone. All right, so that's the fast start bonuses. Oh, here's something really important. All right, you on the line right now, you're associates with the company now, so you're going to be referred to as legacy associates because you've been with us. All right, and what that means is this: when we looked at this, we thought, boy, that's going to be great for the new person. But what about the people that are with us right now? They are going to look at this and say, boy, I wish that this would have been in place when I got started. Well, guess what? Good news. When we start this, we're going to start a new clock for everybody. It's going to be a person's first 30 days all over again in the software. And guess what, folks? We're going to add to it. We're adding to it. What we mean by that is this. Anybody that you have personally enrolled, if they upgrade from $9.95 to $49.95, that's going to count. So we've got people on board right now with a lot of people on board. They'll say, hey, you know what? Great news. We're stepping it up to another level. Let's upgrade to $49.95, and it's going to trigger those $100 bonuses. You know what? I'll tell you, it's a commitment from us, you know, as far as the payout. But you know what? We're excited for you guys because we're committed to you. We're committed to you, and we're excited to see a lot of big checks as a result of these fast start bonuses. So that's the fast start bonuses for you. Now we're going to look at the enroller bonuses. The enroller bonuses are pretty simple. Here's what it looks like. It's 10% paid out to the enroller and the enroller's direct upline. Okay, now when someone comes on at $49.95, 40. That's good for 40 points of sales volume. 40. So $40 of that is commissionable. 10% of that is $4. Pretty simple. So here's what's going to happen. Anytime that you enroll someone, you get a $4 enroller bonus. And your upline does too. That's really cool. Because now if you have people on your front line, if they bring people on board, you'll get $4 for that as well. Okay? That's the enroller bonus. It's very important. If a person isn't bonus qualified, they'll get 50% of the volume. Okay? They'll only get 50% of it. So that's another benefit of being bonus qualified. And the easiest way to be bonus qualified is to be at $49.95. Otherwise, a person has to get customers. All right? So that's what the enroller bonus is. $4 for the person enrolling it, and $4 for the person's upline. It's really good for helping people help the people on their front line. Okay, that's the enroll bonuses. Now, let's look at the coded bonuses. Excuse me, get a drink here. The coded bonuses are the same structure, but it's going to increase the amount. And how it looks is this. When you enroll 3 associates, from that point forward, you get an extra $4 for every associate that comes on board, or anybody that they bring on board, or the first 3 people that they bring on board. It's $4. The second one is this. When you enroll 6 people, we add another $4. So from that point forward, you get $8 for everybody that you bring on board. Okay? The third and final, when you enroll 10 associates or more, from that point on, another $4 is added. So now you're at $12. We need to clarify something to you now, okay? The coded bonuses, we can no longer apply that to $9.95. If you bring someone on board at $9.95, there's no more coded bonuses for that. I'll tell you why. This has been a very unfortunate thing, but the reality of the matter is that there's been fraudulent activity in the field. Okay? There have been a lot of people that have enrolled. I'm serious when I say hundreds of people. They'll enroll them, get the coded bonuses, and encourage people to cancel. Call their credit card and do a chargeback. And it's just fraudulent. It's cost the company tens of thousands of dollars, and it doesn't make sense at $9.95 anymore. Okay, but it's safer at $49.95. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense for a person to do it at $9.95, because it's just, but you know what? We just have to distance ourselves from that because it's just really unfortunate. Okay. So let's take a look at something here. All right. Total coded bonuses. When you've enrolled 10 people, from that time moving forward, anybody that you enroll, you'll make $12. But then also, you're going to get a residual commission of 15% for anybody that you enroll. That 15%, that's $6, all right? Then on top of that, you're going to get an enroller bonus of 10%. That's $4. So from that point forward, what that looks like is this. You're moving forward. You're building a business. You bring someone on board. Right now, what happens is the person doesn't get a lot at $9.95. But now, the total is $22. Oh, that's much better. That's great. We're excited to introduce this to you. So that's the coded bonuses there. Now, let's look at this other aspect. Here's the iLA path of success. These are the management levels, the management ranks, and how it pays, all right? Now, we've got eight management levels altogether. What we have had is 3: managing associate, senior associate, executive associate, all right? Pretty simple. But you know what? With having a point of $49.95, we've arranged it in a way to make it possible for a person to build a large organization and get paid to multiple levels, 15 levels, 20 levels, 25 levels deep. I mean, it gets really deep as to how far a person can get paid. But it's important to let you know that with this path of success, there is no matrix. As it is right now in the computer, the computer looks for 2 things: who enrolls the person and where the person is placed. Now, placement doesn't matter, because when you enroll a person, they're direct to you. There's no limit as to how many people you can have on your front line. You can have 10, 15, 20, 100, it doesn't matter. You can go as wide as you want. And we're really excited about that. Here's how it looks. The first level is an associate. And this is the initial rank for everyone, okay? A person can become an associate by simply completing an application and an agreement, and they purchase a product. Now, when a person is an associate, they automatically get 15% on level 1 and 2 on all of their volume and on all of the volume of their second level. They get 15%. It ends up being $6 for everybody on your front line and everybody on your second line. Man, I just love that. I just like that so much more. Like I said, let me reiterate something. All right? People have done amazing at $9.95. Now, at $9.95, if you personally enroll 9 people, you have enough money coming in to get your application for free. Now what does it look like? If you enroll 9 people, well, 9 times 6, that's much better, isn't it? Much better. That's the first level. It's the associate. Now, the second level is a qualified associate. A qualified associate, a person can get the first management level in their first day. We like that. People will be excited by getting their first management level in the first day. You just have one person that's active. That's how the structure looks. Pretty complicated, right? No, it's pretty simple. Then they're a qualified associate. Now, as a qualified associate, you get a 10% commission on the downline sales volume of your third level. So anybody that's been enrolled on your third level, you get 10% of that. As we're walking through these qualifications, I want to let you know, if you don't track with all of it, we'll have another webinar. We'll have a number of other webinars, and we're going to have training in place so that you'll understand everything. And we'll have the document that you could look at. This is just the first overview of it. Okay. Now the third is a leader. There's someone called a leader now. To become a leader, you become a qualified associate, and now you have 3 active legs. And those, that's what that looks like there. And you have a minimum of 120 downline sales volume, 120 points. Let me clarify something here. See that where it says 120 downline sales volume points? You know what? That's a moot point. If everybody comes on board at $49.95, you know, it's going to take care of everything. You don't have to worry about any kind of point qualifications. It takes care of itself. So you don't even have to be concerned about that. But as a leader, once you do that, okay, see that color there? Gold? Remember that, because what that means is a person is a leader and they've got 3 people direct to them. At that point, you get 5% commission on the downline sales volume of your 4th level. So 5% on level 4. All right. The next one is a senior leader. As a senior leader, now you have 5 people. You've enrolled 5 people, and one of your legs has a leader. All right, a leader. Then you become a senior leader. Now, I'm gonna share a little detail here. If you're a seasoned networker, I think you'll really appreciate that. Appreciate this. And what it is this: if you've got 5 people directed to you, all you need is to have one of those legs have a leader in it, and it doesn't matter if the leader is direct to you or not. That leader could be 2, 3, or 4 people removed from you. As long as you have one leader in a leg, you have enough to qualify to become a senior leader. And you can't have more than 50% of those the downline sales volume come from one leg. All right. Again, any kind of downline sales volume requirements, it's all a moot point if everybody just gets started at $49.95. I don't see people, quite frankly, I don't see anybody getting started at $9.95 anymore. It just doesn't make sense. And, if a person wants to get going in this to make money, the best way to get going is $49.95. Okay. Now, as a senior leader, you get a 3% override on your 5th level. 3% on your 5th level. The 5th is a director. Okay, to be a director, you become a senior leader. You have a total of 10 active and qualified legs. 3 of them are leaders. All right, 3 leader legs. It's then that a person becomes a director. Now, we're going to talk about something here shortly, but just to give you a heads up, it's at this point that a person qualifies for generation overrides. But that's down the road a bit. Now, the 6th position is an executive. All right, to become an executive, first of all, you have to be a director. You have a total of 10 active qualified legs. 1 is a director leg, and 5 of them are leader legs. Okay, so your organization is growing more. You can do it by having a total of 10 people on your front line. As an executive director, now a person's an executive director and they qualify for the bonus pools that we'll talk about. The 7th position is an ambassador. As an ambassador, first the person becomes an executive. They have a total of 10 active and qualified legs. 3 of them are director legs. 5 of them are leader legs. When they have that in place, they become an ambassador. Okay, and then the 8th and final, by the way, then they get to a share of the ambassador leg pool, the ambassador pool. 8th and final, presidential ambassador. Presidential ambassador, they've got 10 people. They've got 10 legs. 1 of them is an ambassador leg. 3 of them are executive legs. 6 of them are active and qualified director legs. At this point, as a presidential ambassador, a person has a vast organization here, a really well-developed organization of leaders. Okay? There's a presidential ambassador. Those are the management levels. Again, that's okay if you don't wrap your brain around it. If a person just moves forward, and if they understand the first part of it, and if those people take advantage of those enroller bonuses and the fast start bonuses, everything will take care of itself. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to look at here: generation overrides. Folks, this is a very powerful concept here that makes it possible for a person to get paid on multiple levels. When a person asks, how many levels does this pay on? Well, it's almost an irrelevant question. I mean, a person can get paid on 15, 20, 25 levels. It goes on. Here's what it looks like. It's a bonus. It's designed to reward the development of leader legs. It's a generational payout. How it works is I'm gonna read this out, and then I'm going to show you a graph explaining it. Directors. When a person is a director, they earn a generation override of 3% on the sales volume generated by associates below their 5th level, down, all the way down to the next director, but it's excluding the next director. All right? Let me show you how this works. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Here's what it looks like. See here, a person's a director. As a director, they get paid 15% on level 1 and 2, 10% on level 3, 5% on level 4, 3% on level 5. Now, as a director, anything under level 5, you get an additional 3%, and it just doesn't stop. I mean, it just keeps going. You'll get 3% until, all right, a director shows up. See that there? Here's what happens. Once a director shows up here, it creates like a bubble. So you're getting paid 3% on all of this to the side here. But then this director shows up. Anything that's under this director, it creates a bubble. So you don't get 3% on this bubble, but you get 3% on everything else. But the neat thing here is, as an executive, once you're an executive, then you get 4% on the sales volume generated by the first associate below their 5th level with a paid as rank of director or above down to the next director. So what that looks like is this, that bubble that we're talking about here, you're getting 3% on this. Once you're an executive now, you become an executive, you get 4% on that bubble. You've only got one right here, but this is going to happen all over the place. You'll have directors popping up all over, and you get 4% on it. It climbs, goes from 3% up to 4%. All right, that's really powerful. And you know what? That just keeps going. It keeps going on all of those people until another director shows up. See, when another director shows up, it forms another bubble, right? But when a person becomes an ambassador, then you start getting paid on that bubble. You get paid 5% of the organizations of the second generation of directors. So you get 3, 4, 5. It starts climbing again. As an ambassador, you got these directors showing up, and you get paid on all of this, and it doesn't matter how far down it goes until another director shows up. All right. Then you form another bubble. You get these bubbles showing up. When another director shows up, you don't get paid on that until you become a presidential ambassador. Then you get 6% on that. So you're getting paid on all of the level 1 through 5. You're getting 3% on everything underneath level 5 until these directors show up. It's in a person's best interest to reach down and work with their team. Develop directors. If a person's professional with this, we're going to have training in place. We want people to know what it's like to be a professional in the industry. Network marketing industry, sharing mobile apps, the mobile app industry. And when you're at this point, you're getting 6%. This is a vast organization right here. And being at the beginning, like you are, man, I'll tell you what, you are in a very, very good place. This is the generational override, okay? Now, the bonus pools. We love the bonus pools. Here's how this works. There's going to be 2 of them. We're going to have 2 pools. They're going to be funded with 2% of the company's entire monthly sales volume from orders that aren't first orders. You know what? Those first orders, they're already committed to fast start bonuses. So we're not going to count those. But anything past that, we take 2% and we put it in 2 pools. And here's what happens. The first pool, it's an executive leg pool. Now, anyway, it's going to divide it up into shares. Shares in the executive leg pool, they're earned by associates who are paid as executives or higher. And they have at least 1 active director leg or higher. Here's how this looks. So we've got 2% right here put into a pool. A person's an executive. As an executive, you automatically get 1 share. All right? Now, you also get an extra share for every paid as director in your organization. And you get 2 shares for every executive leg. All right? I say every director. I'm sorry, I meant leg. Every paid ads director leg. Now, if you're an ambassador, you get 2 shares in it. Or if you're a presidential ambassador, you get 3 shares. Then here's a neat thing. The more you develop your organization, the more you develop director legs and executive legs, the more shares you get of this revenue. Now, I'll tell you one of the things that we love about this. What this means is, guess what? There is one team, one company team that everybody can earn on. In the past with the Matrix, you could hear about someone just going gangbusters and rolling a whole bunch of people. And it didn't matter to you. It didn't affect, I mean, it could be, okay, Gary over here just brought on 100 people. That's fantastic. Well, good for Gary. It doesn't really do anything for me over here. But now, when you hear about Gary going to town, oh, man, Gary brought in 100 people. Go for it, Gary. Gary's got a fast-growing group. That's awesome. Because that's good for everybody. Everybody who gets a share of this. All right? It's the bonus pools. Now, the second bonus pool is this. It's the ambassador leg pool. So a person gets a share for being an ambassador or higher. It's another 2%. So we take 2% of everything and put it in a pool. As an ambassador, you get a share. As a presidential ambassador, you get 2 shares. For every executive leg, you get a share. And for every ambassador leg, you get 2 shares. Now, this, folks, is very powerful because here's what we have here. Now we've really stepped up the game in the sense of offering another application that's going to give someone a real, genuine, valuable education as to how to build income with things like real estate, investment strategies, asset protection strategies. We're talking about nuts and bolts education. And also we've got a format where a person can really sink their teeth into this and share with a person realistically how to get their first, couple $100 and build their organization in such a way that this will have a genuine, a much more enhanced payout. I mean, it eclipses things easily by 5 times. Well, that makes sense, right? Because if we go from $9.95 to $49.95, that's an increase of 5 times. It's a 5 times greater earning potential. And the compensation is laid out in a way that rewards the right activities. You see, here's where we've been. During the launch has been fantastic. I'm going to paint a little bit of a picture for you, okay? You see, when a rocket ship takes off, we use a particular engine, and it puts out a ton of energy, and it gets it to a certain point, and then what happens with that engine is that it falls off, and then another engine kicks in to take it to the next level. Well, you know what? That's what happened with the Matrix. The Matrix served its purpose for the launching of the company, and now it's to the point where to take it to the next level, that Matrix engine falls off, and now we're launching into a totally new phase that takes everybody to the next level. Now, I'll tell you what I'd like to do here is I'm going to try to figure out how to do this. I'm going to see who's on the line because there's some folks that I'd like to hear from on this. Here we go.
I'm here, John. This is James Larson.
James, awesome. James, chime in.
Yeah, I'm really, this is amazing.
James, hold on a second. That's not right.
Sure.
Let me just say something, folks, first. Folks, I gotta. You know what? It's so awesome to have James. James is. I need to tell you who's going to be sharing here, because James is a master networker, and he is a consummate professional. He's one of the founders of the company. James has been with the company before the company even got started. And James is responsible for bringing on some amazing leaders in the company. And I can't tell you just how encouraged we are to have James with us and to have the caliber of people that we have with us in the company, to have folks like James. And James, I just wanted to add that before you got started. Go ahead and share your thoughts.
Hey, John, thanks so much, and thanks so much for calling me out. I'm very grateful to be a part of this company, a part of this opportunity. And I did get started in the very beginning, and I simply shared the original app, which was a $9.95 app. I think maybe about 50 people signed up for that $9.95 app, and I did also attract some other amazing leaders into the company who went and built some pretty big organizations. I know at one time my group was over 1,000 people, and I pretty much worked the opportunity just for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, and built a pretty solid foundation. And it's interesting, I look back at all my commissions since getting started with you guys, and just off of the 2 apps, and one of them, for the first 6 months we only had the 1 app, I generated over $8,000 in commissions. And it was, for the amount of work I did, I'll be honest, it wasn't a lot of work to generate, that's a pretty decent amount of money, but I'm so excited with the enhancements that what you're doing. And I got to tell you, the reason I'm really here too is I had the opportunity to meet you and Matt, and really, I'm just really sold on what your guys' vision is. And I know that you guys are here for the long haul, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this community and this opportunity, because I just know where your guys' heart's at. I feel so good about who's involved with this company and where it's going, and that to me, I'm very picky with who I really get involved with in terms of opportunities, because I've been around the block for a while, and I just know that you guys are here for the long term, and you're constantly committed to giving back to the field and rewarding us. So I'm really, I'm grateful to be a contributor to the company, and I'm looking forward to doing even more with iLA. So I'm definitely here to stay. Thanks so much for calling me out. I'm just grateful to be a part of this opportunity.
Hey, fantastic. Thanks so much, James. Appreciate your input. And folks, here's the strategy, okay? Here's what we're going to do. This is so big. We are going to have an actual pre-launch, okay? It's going to be a pre-launch. We're going to have a 30-day, generally speaking, about a 30-day pre-launch. And what that means is this. At the beginning of November, the first week of November, I can't give you an exact date yet, but I can tell you it's going to be the first week of November. It's going to be possible for people to come on at $49.95, and they'll have the ability to build with the $49.95 in a pre-launch setting. And the value of being able to do that is this: we're going to be making sure that the systems are running correctly with the software. Make sure that everybody's getting placed into the compensation correctly. We're going to be doing systems checks, but a person is going to be able to earn normally during that pre-launch. But the value of it is this: guess what? People are going to be able to upgrade. People are going to be able to qualify for the fast start bonuses, but the actual clock will not start until the actual launch, which is going to be the beginning of December. All right. This is very cool, because what that means, in essence, is this: that 30-day window that I was talking about, it's being opened up more, because you're going to be able to build during the pre-launch period and take advantage of all of the fast start bonuses. Not 30 days. It's going to be more like 60 days, and that's really cool, because that pre-launch period, if you lock in on that pre-launch period and build in that time, then you know what it's going to do? It's going to do so much more than just an extra few $1,000 or $2,000. I mean, the $1,000 or $2,000 that you'll make during that time will be insignificant in comparison to the foundation that you're going to be building that will explode during the launch. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Now, folks, you know his name, you know his voice. He's like one of my favorite voices to hear on the line. Amazing leader in the field, one of the top earners in the company. JT, as JT would say, what say you?
What say you? Absolutely. Well, John, thanks for bringing me out, and James, thank you for those comments that you had out there earlier. I just got to tip my hat to John and Matt and John Marr for bringing this to the table. This is, I have been so excited about this, and of course we've all been under NDAs and we can't talk about it. That's one of the toughest things. You cannot talk about it. Something great is coming up. Just take my word for it. And people do. By the way, this webinar was completely sold out tonight. In fact, I couldn't even get onto this thing, John. and you have a ton of people on this. Somehow I moused my way into it. But when you look at this compensation, and John, you know I've been doing this for 30-some years, I have nitpicked. I have pulled this thing apart, stem to stem. I mean, I have pulled, like a four-leaf clover, I have pulled every leaf off from it, saying, okay, but what's the catch? What's the catch? What's the catch? There's got to be a catch. And John, there is no catch. In fact, I ran this off on some individuals that I personally know that are experts in this field, and they sit back and they say, they're kicked back on their heels, and they say, I've never seen anything like this compensation. John, you just reinvented the wheel. And this goes back to the conversation that I think that we had on the very first advisory call, where you said, yeah, we have something great going on, but what more can I do for the field? And that's where your heart is at. Matt's heart's there. John Marr's heart's there. It's what can we do for the field? And folks, I got to tell you something. You might not have digested everything that's going on here tonight on this call, but do yourself a favor. Continue to come to these webinars. Continue to learn. Continue to grasp. Continue to digest what is going on here. You'll never see a better compensation in the history of MLM than what John Rogers has put together here this evening. John, I'm going to leave it at that because, man, if you put jets on my, you don't even need to put jets on my shoes. I'm ready to elevate right now, and it's because of you, Matt, and John Marr. God bless you guys. Thank you for all that you do.
Well, I tell you what, thanks so much, JT, for your thoughts there. And I just got to, for the record, I wish I could take credit for the compensation plan, but we got to, you know, give a big heads up to a big thanks to Jay Lesnar over there at Sylvina Consulting. He just does great work. And one other somebody else that we're going to hear from before we wrap it up, folks. And folks, I tell you what, again, another name that you're familiar with. We're just so fortunate to have the leadership that we have in Pat, master networker, such a professional, and provides great leadership for the field. Pat, I just unmuted you.
Hey, John, am I coming through okay?
Oh, you sure are.
Okay, great. Matt suggested I turn my volume down. Just wanted to be sure. Well, hey, I feel like Christmas is coming early this year. I really do. I'm so excited about this compensation model. I agree with what JT said. You know, I really believe this is one of the if not the best compensation models that I've ever seen, and it's gonna really, like you said in the presentation, going to drive the right behaviors. It's going to really motivate and inspire people. Now, it's really interesting tonight. You shared the third app details about iLA University. It just feels like a puzzle that's come together here, and I know it's going to continue to grow, as you mentioned. But what we're doing here is we're giving folks, you know, the personal development, and now we're coming out with iLA University, which is going to give them all the tools and resources to be successful in life. And now but with that, we also have this amazing compensation model with this income opportunity in itself. And so when you put the personal development app together with iLA University, together with this amazing compensation model, you have the perfect formula for success, prosperity, abundance, wealth, in all areas of our life. And of course, specifically with what most people are interested in, they're interested in prosperity in their financial leg of their life. And we have that here. It's just a beautiful combination now of training and education with the most incredible income opportunity. I'm just so thrilled. I can't wait. You know, all of us, you know, we're all blessed, people that are on this call, because we're all legacy associates. And so we get to start way ahead of the game with that as well. And I want to thank you guys for doing that. That's big, folks. The fact that for all of us that have been in iLA since the very beginning, or even for the last couple months, whatever, we get the clock set to zero for us too. The folks that we've already brought on board, we've already benefited financially from, we get to do that all over again. This is like the happiest. We're going to be like the happiest kids under the Christmas tree. We're like kids. We're going to be like kids that go down Christmas morning, and the living room is so overflowed with gifts we can't even walk in there. That's what it's kind of feeling like for me tonight. What's coming together for all of us when we start to absorb the potential here, the enormity of everything that you guys are providing for us. It's mind-boggling, and I just, kudos to you guys, kudos to the compensation consultant, the whole team, to all of you together. I want to thank you guys. I'm really feel really blessed to be a part of this company, and I'm looking forward to greater things with iLA.
Hey, fantastic. You know what, folks? Thanks so much, Pat, for everything that you do, your leadership and your input there. And folks, I know that I said that Pat was going to be the last person, but believe me when I say you'll want to hear from this next person, because her input, I just can't speak highly enough about her input. She's on the advisory board, and she's advised some amazing companies. I mean, her experience. You know what? Her experience is amazing, and her perspective of this is very interesting to listen to. Hey, Ruth, what are your thoughts?
Oh my God, I am so excited. I just, excuse me, but I want to pee my pants. This is just like, it's really hard for me to keep my mouth shut, as you know, and I've had to keep my mouth shut about this for quite a while because we've been discussing it for a while, and I have people asking me questions all the time, even today, what are they going to say tonight? And I said, you have to get on and find out. But folks, this is the exact type of compensation plan that I made my first $100,000 in a month. Now, some of you can't grasp that yet, and that's okay. It really is okay. I want you to grasp maybe making your first $100, then making your first $1,000, then making your first $5,000. Can you grasp that? Because with this compensation plan, you can do it with a lot less people than we could before. But here's the key thing. And I challenge all of you to do this. Go check out what other companies are charging that have compensations that pay out this much money. I guarantee you're going to spend a couple $100 a month. I guarantee it. For $49 a month, you have the opportunity literally to become a thousandaire or a millionaire if you want. It's all within your reach. And I cannot, there's just no words for me to say how excited I am about this. There really isn't. And you want to talk about a rebirth, you just watch how fast, when people understand what they've got their hands on for $49 a month. I know we used to say it's only $9.95, but for just $49 a month, you have the ability, with far less people than it took to cover $9.95 a month, to cover your monthly bill and put money in your pocket and have a real business. I'm going to tell you another thing about the products. Not only are you going to get the inspiration, and if you were on the call last night, some of you heard me talk about, it's you getting in your way a lot of the times. It's your personality. And I asked everybody, I challenged everybody to take 15 minutes right before they went to bed and listen or watch one of our videos or audios, because garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. Now you have the opportunity not only to have that content, but have the iLA University that is going to give you the best of the best of the best of the best. People that not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. And that's what you want for $49 a month. John, I can't name one seminar I've been to that only cost $49. Hello? I've spent thousands and tens of thousands going to weekend seminars from some of the people that we all now have access to for $49 a month. So I cannot say how excited I am. I don't know if it reflects in my voice, but I hope it does. And watch out, world, because iLA has just been reborn and unleashed. And it is a fair game across the board. I don't know if y'all heard what John said about legacy associates. There are not many company owners that would do that. And if you're on this phone tonight and you're already an associate, man, it's just like a brand new day for you. And you're going to put a ton of money in your pocket if you just get out and do a little work. And I know I can speak for Pat and JT because I just know them and I know their hearts. If you're struggling in this business, get a hold of your upline, even if you have to go all the way up to JT or Pat or myself. I don't care, and I know they won't. Ask for help, because every single one of us have our hands out just waiting for that shining star and would-be shining star to say, come along with us, because we want you here. And I know John and Matt and everybody at corporate does too. So John, I'm going to shut up now or I'll talk all night. Thank you so much, and back to you.
All righty. Hey, folks, as always, we appreciate you so much taking the time. I get a couple of things here. At this point, we don't have time to field questions, but we're hoping that over the next couple of days, couple of weeks, all of the questions will be answered as you dial in and maybe go over it again. We'll be introducing some training videos. We're going to be introducing some webinars that are available for the pre-launch period. Right now, we've got the webinar is maxed out. It's still maxed out, which is really cool because we're past an hour. So we can't field questions at this point. But we're going to be having another webinar. You know what? Probably tomorrow, because this was maxed out way before we got the whole thing started. So people are excited about what's going on. And I tell you what, I'm going to leave it with this. Ever since the beginning, we've always communicated that you know what we want. What we want is this. We want you to win. I want you to win. And we want to do everything that we can to tee things up and to position things and to give you everything that you need for you to have a breakthrough and a victory in your life and your family, and to have something that you can build that will be solid and long-term. And we're committed to that. We are genuinely looking forward to and believing for great things. Everybody have a great night.